Hello and welcome back once again to Arts of Iron 2. I'm playing as the Soviets against my opponent is PBEM. We're here in turn 43. Can pretty much see the numbers going on around here. And well, there you have it. So what can we see on the map? Let's zoom in a little bit here. Nothing in north, nothing. My opponent has retreated here at this point, so we can move in onto this area. Giving up Tsaritsa and Volokolamsk. Pushing, I guess, to better positions. Nothing much else down here. He's given up one hex here, straighten up his lines, and I guess also a little bit here. And then down here too. I guess he wants to try and hold the Ingul River, potentially with Nikolaev. He's given up Kherson, which is also pretty interesting. I would have a hard time attacking here, but we do have mud as well, which makes attacking generally just quite difficult now. I'll also just be looking to move forward. I seem to not be able to move into this hex with these units. I can with them though. Alright, let's do that. I will have at least A units. And these are swamp X anyway. So I think that looks to be going rather well. Certainly also just trying to get everything in order. I already have a depot at Kherson, I guess, for retaking that stuff. That will definitely be a 4. Here, I don't have the rail line going there yet, but I'm okay putting at least a 390th. Can you go in there? No, you cannot. Alright, I'll have to think about how to do this. 9th Army units. Where is this 9th? The 12th Army units. Okay, so definitely going here. And I'll take out the motorized. Now that things are becoming a bit of a stalemate, I can certainly withdraw certain units as well and really reorganize the front in an orderly fashion, so sure, let's make you part of the 12th Army. Just like that. Moving will be quite difficult right now, but seems like I'm not getting units in here at least. Maybe onto the cavalry, I did get some. Okay, so Then we have 9th Army units. Both of these, they can go in here. And move you in here. Defense of 7 doesn't look too great, actually. They'd be able to beat them quite handily, and the same applies here. I didn't know that my defenses would be that bad, but I guess it's not raining. How's the weather gonna look like? Rain, okay. Because the weather on the ground will stay the same, and then we'll have heavy rain up here and then regular rain down here. Maybe not, actually. That's pretty tricky, because in such a case... I do think I want 3 units on each of those hexes. If I'm lucky, I might have a backup line, but I will have to see how that works out. Funnily enough, the game does claim I can attack here, that this unit is severely weakened. Okay, some Romanian construction battalions, eh? Damn. Whoa. That's some serious losses, but I guess it might be those Romanians. Oh, my opponent did do some attack. 1. Here, just to get the cavalry out. Yeah, that's fair. The bunch units, eh? Okay, well... ground losses. Yes, mostly just a bunch of labor squads, I guess, but still happy about that. Okay, well, good, I guess. Right, so I have 9th Army. Both of these units are already weakened. Alright. What could be interesting is attacking the 395th Infantry Division here too. Yeah. I don't think so. This rifle division is already looking very poor. In reality, The more interesting thing is whether I might want to move in here. I actually think I do. Huh. No, my units are so much weakened at this point that I do not see a real option to do this. Not really at this point. Even the units that I might put in here now, they will need to be replaced, I suppose. Five, 7. Like this guards units is already exceptionally weak. And I have no replacements. Well, getting a unit in here would be exceedingly difficult as well. I don't really want to put these guys in there. I mean, I might get lucky and it might not kick my ass, but I actually think they're gonna kick my ass, so. Given that the Crimean front is not full yet, and I can actually still put units under, say, like, 5th Army. They're not actually doing that well. I actually want to take you out. Actually, really sucks. I can't move them that much. I mean, I can get units like these in there, which is fine, but they already cannot go down. I just, for the moment, get both the 312th, 392nd Rifle Division over here on a refit as well. I know there are no major lines here. Alright, well, for the moment then I will have to do with second-rate units. But not this cavalry, so... That's 5th Army. 2nd Shock Army can also take another unit. 1-6. Well, let's beef it up a bit. And there are a few units that need to get out. First of all, I can... The problem is the 2 cities that I have here are already full. And I can't use Dolgin Savo to reinforce, which kinda sucks. Further up here, one of a few straightforward things, just moving up. So this also frees up a lot of units from my part. And technically allows me to move out the 145th, but we'll see about how that goes. Now I can at the very least move these down, these in here. I'll give this one a proper place as it is. There's some simple reorganization here. I'm not gonna attack, so everything I do will not be super special, I suppose. And like I said, I'm not gonna attack here, so everything will just be cycling units, just to keep the frontline units in good shape. I will move in here now. This will not necessarily go in phases, but I will have to be a bit careful as well, though. Because if my opponent decides to, at this point, then suddenly attack, I don't want to be in a bad position. These guys should be under the 32nd Army. Why not? And both of these should actually be recovering, interestingly. Certainly putting all 3 units in there. 16 is not the worst, though they would still retreat in face of danger. This is a clear hex, so that's actually the most difficult out of all of these. Defense of 5. That's not great. What I'm gonna do here. I'm very curious to see whether my opponent will attack, but I'll try to put some units into reserve here. And then see how that goes. I am happy that he retreated, as it does negate some of the threat to Moscow, I suppose, but not entirely. so... That's really the furthest. Guess that is what it is. Ooh, I'm quite happy these 5 strength units can go in here, because this is a difficult to reach area. It still puts them only at 8 because it's another clear hex. Whereas as far as lightwood hexes are concerned, that is indeed a bit easier now. All of these are all not really in bad shape, but I wouldn't say it is the greatest. Hmm. 426, 416. It's a real shame, actually, most of all, that my units cannot necessarily go in there. Or even into that hex. This one has a 16, so it's not. You're not going to get more movement than that. This is the only unit that can get in there. I have no motorized units. I mean, technically I do, but this tank division could try and get in there. Not sure how much that would accomplish, given by their poor defenses. Basically, I would have to, well, potentially sit it out for a turn or so. But, yeah, it's only a tiny corner, but it, seriously, I think this basically gives him like 4 or 5 units already, just from pulling back. It means he can make double units on those lines. Which also means that technically that isn't where my next strike should probably be coming from. I think the same about the south, because well, my opponent still has some weak spots in the south, which is interesting, but the problem is that there are definitely certain places, like up here, where even now attacking is just not going to be very profitable because he has these double stacks. And still feel like if I attack doing it from the center towards Smolensk, which if successful will force him to give up this because it's the only double rail. He can't live off the Veliki Luki Rzhev rail line. It's a little bit of a bummer to not be able to see trucks, but for both sides, that is. Not really, so I'm gonna shuffle my units around a little bit. Pretty much not all that much is going on besides that at the moment. I might disband the units out here. The thing is, I have to think about what my opponent might do during a potential 42 campaign. Now, At the moment, I think he will not do much more than localized counterattacks, but I can't be 100% sure. If you look at the on-map forces, my opponent does have most of his tanks back, at least on the Eastern Front, at least as far as that goes. And he has some reserves. The thing is, if he does that, do I even expect him to reach Stalino? And like right now, the answer is I don't. Do I expect him to potentially reach the Crimea? Yeah, I could. If he makes a concerted effort to move there, I can see him try to do that. But I have a sensation my opponent is going to most likely play it on the defensive for now and just try to hold as much territory for as long as possible. That is actually what I think he's going to do. And see where that ends. And I guess in a sense he's already given the initiative to me. That's how I feel personally. So we'll see if we can do something here. Now, one of the things that I did notice, and I told you about it last time, is that we can now build tank corps. I've seen fit to build 2 of them. They are in the reserve currently at the moment. They start out at very low TOE. Here, as you can see, 21 of, or 28 out of 31. Generally, we don't have that many units in there yet, so they'll come. They'll be on refit. That's the first tank corps, second tank corps, and the third tank corps here. Let's see, read this for tank corps. Formed in March 42 in the Moscow Military District. Started receiving units in April. Katukov, commander of the 4th Tank Brigade, but it became the 1st Guard Tank Brigade 931. Later commanded the 1st Tank Army. The 1st Tank Corps went right to Bryansk's front in May before receiving any unit training or any other supporting units who had badly chewed up, trying to attack the flank of German panzer forces south and east of Voronezh, and by late August was assigned to 5th Tank Army with only 89th Tank Brigade left in the Corps. The 1st Tank was part of the mobile group of 5th Tank Army that seized Kalach-na-Don and surrounded the 6th Army at Stalingrad. Unfortunately, the actual siege of Kalach was done by the 26th Tank Corps, so that unit received the Guards designation, not 1st Tank Corps. In January 1943, the 1st Tank Corps went into reserve, first in the Volga Military District, east of Stalingrad, and then in March it shifted to Western Front reserves near Moscow. It was stripped with supporting elements, leaving just the brigades, etc., etc. Alright, well, basically those will be in reserve. I'll be, dealing with things again. I believe next turn we'll get the 250 AP, so there is that as well. I'll be putting more air forces onto the map, and I'll be shifting them around a little bit as well as we're doing that. But like I said, I don't think there will be any major activities for this turn due to the mud and or rain, which means indeed that I'm just grabbing the hexes that I can get, which I'll be grateful for, I suppose. And that's about it. Even here, just attacking doesn't seem like it's going to be a great deal. We'll just have, the usual casualties for each turn here, which we'll have to deal with. Which is fine. Funny that there's actually quite a few men captured for, say, no reason necessarily. Did bring up the total amount to 1.674 in losses. Yeah, I guess what do you get? 3 construction battalions and a cavalry division. Basically nothing will happen for a long time on the Western Front as it is. The Germans will take their sweet time retreating, and then all out for Cairo is only in August 42, so it will still take some time. And only after that will things start looking a little bit worse for them. They will really only need to get more units in Italy for 43, and the Atlantic Wall is 44 only. So we'll be going up against the brunt of the German army up until that time. Pretty greedy here. Did cost me 22 tanks. I just thought it was like, eh. But I guess that's fine. At least I did get the attack, and I did inflict more casualties than on my own, except the 22 tanks, I suppose. Yeah. One last thing that I want to take a look at is what I did get for this turn to, let's just say, to map. I did get a rifle division, 2 rifle divisions, 3 rifle divisions onto the map. Tank brigade. We'll get this and these soon. 41st Army as well. I still need to get quite a few forces onto, well, not in the far east, but I do need more planes there, but in the north I'm only at 80%. That kind of sucks, because this went up by a lot, so I definitely need to send a lot more forces. Either way, I'll do all that stuff off screen for now. I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. And well, actually, I'll be back giving a overview of everything that happened and stuff like that. So, okay. Yeah, there we are. Yeah. I always find kind of weird that you're not allowed to get into this area, even as the Soviets. I know it's under Soviet control. The thing is that there are these areas, like all of this, where I cannot go, and I know that Finnish force is supposed to attack there, but I find it weird that the Finns can't actually take these areas. If you have, say, you know, 120, 130% of prerequisites. And I don't want to say I feel the same about stuff like Cairo, things like that, because that's a bit trickier. But I always kind of felt like the Finnish forces, together with the Germans, could have done more if the Germans had given more support, mostly in terms of engineering and trying to clear out, you know, fortified positions. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll see you on the other side, so be right back. Alright, back after the reorganization and stuff. Now, basically, for this turn, I have quite a few units in the back that are at reasonable strength, but I kind of want them to go and pick up on some manpower, etc. Besides that, I still need you in there. Both of these are not yet at full strength. I guess they're also not really at a great position here. Let's actually put both under the southwestern front, and I'd kind of hoped. All right. Oh, great, yeah. Okay, so the second one wouldn't make it here. 96 is okay. I'll get both of them in Poltava for now, and then afterwards I'll get them closer to Kharkov. Basically, I just want to get these guys back up to full strength. They're pretty weak right now, but they're the only guards that I have. Now, I sent a lot of my units over to the National Reserve. That's mostly the motorized units and tank units. So that they can form new tank corps, of which I currently have 3, but I can create 26, so there is that. At the same time, I'm also going to get more mortar regiments. By this stage here, I can actually get 20. Let's do that for convenience's sake. Doesn't cost me anything, and I can make an infinite amount of these. The thing is, I'd rather build regiments than the battalions. I know I have an infinitude of these, but I just don't feel like making 9,000 support units of guys with AT rifles a good idea of my manpower. Yes, I have so many in the pool, but I don't even need that many, so definitely not doing that. I have a gazillion brigades, by the way. I can't even make any more, but I couldn't get them to join together to make a division, strangely enough. I will get 3 more of these. Oh, right. 2 more. And I'll get one last one later. Right, so I have some tank corps that are building up, and I cannot build them now because my AP is too low, but I'll take care of that next turn. Okay. Besides that, the only few battles that I did are here. Because of the mod, but I don't want to take any of these positions, so there's not much I can do here. My opponent let me take some of these territories, like Kherson, which is nice. I'm quite happy about it. Let's do... I have one IP I should be able to put repairs on the port. I would like that the most. I got the entire rail line to Crimea, so I sent some guys up. Alright, that's basically where we're at right now. This is still like a very small bulge here, but we'll see how that goes. My opponent retreating here and here. For my turn, I'm actually very pleased with those retreats. I mean, my opponent has shortened his line, so it's not as if it really helps me that much. I'll keep a few units here. The reason for that is that I currently just want to keep some of those level 3 forts. And these guys need to rest anyway. Yeah, so there's that. One thing that for me personally is always kind of a problem is that I have very little real life time, and then I don't actually have enough time to kind of like reorganize everything all the time, because I could be working another 2 hours on the reorganization for this turn, and it's just getting a lot. You're ready. I'm just gonna keep them here to gain. No. Let's start moving. Actually, gonna build these guys up for an offensive towards Smolensk. Trying to attack here and trying to bypass whatever they have here. Like, I don't want to push myself into there like that. I'm gonna bypass all of that and try to get to Smolensk, which will force my opponent to give up basically everything up here, up from Veliki Luki to Smolensk because of poor supplies. That's basically the goal. So if I can achieve that, then he will basically just have to retreat to a Veliki Luki Smolensk line somewhere here. At the same time, I'm not really interested in making a push in the center. There's nothing there for now, so it's just not interesting. Whereas in the south we still have Kiev, which might be worth trying to get towards. I will see. Let's just send them to Tombo for now. Alright, let's go over the metrics and take a look. For my opponent, 3.3 million men. This is going up a little bit, I guess. For us, 6.2. At that, well, let's just go to these. Losses for this turn are very low. 20,000 for my opponent, 36,000 for me, so nothing special here. Victory points, initiative, high watermark, total men, total guns, total AFVs, total aircraft, manpower losses, gun losses, AFV losses. Look at that, fuel stores, supply stores, resource stores, manpower pool. And I really need to get this down. Yeah, and armaments pool. Okay, well. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bit of a shorter episode, but like I said, again, with the mud, things are going a lot slower. So there it is. It's kind of funny with the way this map works right now, because I've been pushing so hard down here. You're kind of used to having this work out to the side like this. But now it's just one straight line down, and it makes the map look very weird, in my opinion. But the funny thing here is that I think this retreat to Elagela is not portrayed here. And of course in August, what you'll get is, you know, all out for Cairo. Something like that. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.